Hi, Dave Snyder here. It is September the 7th, I do believe. September, come on. September 7th, 10:40 a.m., 2012. Okay, so this is California, obviously, North America. And what I have put it over this spot is a crater that fits right in this circle. You see this circle on the Earth? I mean, look, people, you need to take a close look if you really want to know the truth about things. Take a good look at the Earth. I mean, look at it close, look at it from afar, just look at its shapes, look at everything, okay? Just look at things. Check it out, real close. I highly recommend you do. Okay, anyways, been for almost 3 years now, I've been doing the reverse image overlays of the moon surface over the Earth. Of course, all of these moon images that I put over the Earth are flipped over and reversed, like they should be when you overlay them onto the Earth. Okay, so right here is this circle right here. See it? Okay, so Copernicus is the crater we're using. Picture of Copernicus reversed over the Earth. Okay, so what this shows us is a lot of things. I mean, it shows me a lot of things. I know what I'm looking at here, pretty much. I mean, all the moon images I use are from the government, and this is all government. This is Google Earth. Look at this, all Navy, NOAA. Okay. So, anyways, this is a perfect overlay of Copernicus Crater, where it hits the Earth, in California and Nevada. I guess in Oregon too. But anyways, there's a mountain right here, a big peak right here near San Jose called Copernicus Peak, right near Mount Hamilton, where they have a big observatory there. It's a really nice area there. This whole area is pretty cool. Anyways, this fits perfect. I mean, look, I know it's hard to believe that the government could lie to you all these years, or the scientists, the government, everybody would not tell you the true history of the Earth and the Moon. They just would not, because it would go against all that they've taught and preached and everything. It would go against all of it. So they would have to admit that they were wrong about all that stuff first, before they could say this was right, right? So that's not going to happen. We know that'll never happen. But anyways, let's take a close look at this crater. Let's start at this edge up here at top. I like this little edge here. Okay. Right here. You see this edge? And you see this? Let's take a look at it. Because it's the same thing. It's absolutely the same thing. Look at the rest of the picture. I'll fade it. I'll try to go slow. I'll just leave it here for a minute. Just take a look at things. Curves, lines. Look at the lines and curves and everything in the directions that they're supposed to be in. I'll just shut up and you just look. This is a big peak on the moon right here, right? Look where it hits right there. It creates the lake basin right there, and this line comes up to here. This fits perfectly in this spot right here. No question about it. So that's a pretty important overlay right there. Look, you can just start with this if you want. You can get this off the internet. Go to Google Images, download the image, use Microsoft Paint to flip the image over horizontally. Just flip it horizontally and just save it, and then overlay it onto the Earth using Google Moon, or Google Earth. I'm sorry. Google Moon pictures. You could use Google Moon images if you want, but they're total garbage. I mean, there's nothing. That's the reason why they are total garbage, is because for them to put a perfect moon and a perfect Earth in the same program, this would have been discovered a long time ago. So they just don't give you a good moon, so that they leave everything out of the moon's surface so that you can't do it. If they were to give you the perfect moon, everybody would know this already. Everybody would know. We would all know. It's just that people have been so brainwashed by science. Look, you have no way to measure the moon yourself. There's no way you can measure it accurately yourself. There's no way that I can think of. I mean, if there is, and you should come out with a number about 4 times the size that they say it is, right? It's almost the size of the Earth. Because let me just show you the size of this crater. Look at that right there. See that? You see that? Okay. I hope you see that. That goes right there. And look at, here's Lake Tahoe. Want to see Lake Tahoe? Right here. Lake Tahoe has this V shape right here. See this V? I know if you know Lake Tahoe, you know that it has, see how it's shaped? That's Lake Tahoe. Right there. And I mean, look, you can see everything in here. Seriously. I mean, you can't get around this one. There's no, just like all the other ones I've done. You really, I mean, they only fit because they're supposed to fit. That's, I mean, because they create each other, or something. They shape each other, basically. It all fits. Look at this area here where it's all real rough right here, this area. And look at the angles of everything. Look at that. It goes right in there. Goes right in there. Right up to the edge. It's all here. It's absolutely all here. I wish it went out a little further because I live in this area. I'd like to see it come out this way a little bit more, but they cut it right off. Because it's probably shaped just like San Francisco Bay, or the whole bay there. You probably see the whole thing perfectly. That would just give it away. So they cut it off right there. See, they give us a lot of all the other sides, except for right here. They cut it off. How convenient that is. Because all they have to do is continue this line. Look at this right here. This line would have went all the way around the whole thing, pretty much. It would have left a little. It's here. You can see the line. It's right here. See the line? It comes up and around, and it comes up right through here. You see it come up through there. So, and this one up here too. But this is more in line with that one, I guess. That ring. There it is. There's the corner they cut off, so that you can't put it over the Bay Area. I mean, but it goes here. I mean. Look, I've researched this every day for almost 3 years. Every day, putting surfaces over the Earth, every which way I could, upside down and backwards, sideways. I mean, every which way. Okay, I've flipped continents over. I've done all kinds of things, and I mean, I've discovered a lot of things. And one of them is the fact that the moon hits the Earth, or used to hit the Earth, not just once. And this is not the only impact by far. This is just one crater. In the middle of a whole big impact. This is just one part of that impact. That's just the crater that hits there. But the rest of the moon, as you can see, it goes all. There's big circles, all big round shapes on the Earth everywhere. Okay, that's what that is. You see, there's Copernicus fits there, and then if I put Copernicus there, I had it up there earlier. What did I do with that one? Actually, it was a Google Moon image. You just put. It goes here, and let me just point out the size of this. This is 4 times the size they say it is on the moon. You measure this on the moon, and it's like 56 miles or some lame number like that. But on here, it's 220 miles across. 130, the inside diameter from here to here is 130 miles, right? And when you measure that on the moon that they give you on Google Moon, the distance between here is 38 miles. So it's 4 times the size. 4 times the size they say it is. Because I can't look. This fits perfectly here. Everything's in position. This right here from this edge where you can start right here on that edge. You see that goes to that edge. There's no way around that. It goes to that edge. Okay, that's the edge there. And if you measure from there to where at the other edge, I mean, just you can see the other edge. There's Lake Tahoe. You can just measure to Lake Tahoe. That's for sure Lake Tahoe. So you can measure the distance between there, and then go back to the moon and measure it and see what difference it is. It's 4 times the size. And there's no way that I could imagine this growing 4 times the size that it originated at. If this was 57 miles, this crater, or whatever they say it is, on the moon, if it was only that big, that means that this area used to be the same size, but it's grown 4 times. I mean, I don't see that. I don't think that's very possible. I would think that it would stay pretty much the same size from the time of the impact. I mean, it's the same size. It fits. There's Lake Tahoe. There's the edge there. You can see Clear Lake in there. It's all in here. So if you know the distance between those 2 areas on the Earth, you can find the true size of the moon just by doing that. And this crater goes here. Look at it again. It absolutely goes right there. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's right in place perfectly. So there it is. That should be all you need. You could do this yourself, real easy. Install Google Earth on your computer for free. Just download it off the internet. That's what I did, and then I just take the pictures I get from Google Images. I'll just type in a crater name or whatever. You can type in Copernicus. You can find this exact image, or you can use other ones if you can find better ones. And if you find a better one, let me know. Let me know where to get that one. I'd like to get really good pictures, but they're hard to find. I mean, they really are hard to find accurate ones where they don't leave everything out. But there you go. That is it right there. That tells that one crater. When you overlay that one crater right there, that right there will get you started, because I mean, this is just nothing compared to what you will find. Nothing compared to what you will find. So if you want to know the true history of the Earth and the Moon, what really killed the dinosaurs, why ancient civilizations just disappeared, and their cities were just basically buried forever, almost. I mean, come on, look at the Earth. Look at this Earth. It's a big, giant place with a lot of damage on it. A lot of circular damage all over, all from the moon, hitting more than one time. In some type of cycle, I do believe it has to do. It works along with the Ice Age cycle, where they got that graph that shows 4 like ice ages, and I don't know, what is it, 400,000 years or something. We've had 4 ice ages, something like that. Anyways, I think it goes along with that, and I think it also goes along with the pole reversal history of the Earth, which could be, some of it could, I don't think is accurate, like the distance between the last pole shift and today. I think that's too long of a span. I don't think it fits in with the rest of the cycle, because it used to change more often, you know, every 50,000 years or 30,000 years, they say, and then all of a sudden it's 780,000. And I know there's a change in this. There was a change in the cycle. From my research, shows a change in the impact cycle, because it used to be. It seems like it used to be Mare Orientale hitting the Earth all the time. So that Mare Orientale used to face the Earth. It looked like it faced the Earth like the side of the moon that we see today faces the Earth. Okay, which is the last side to hit the Earth, actually. Okay, so Mare Orientale used to stare down at. Here, let's just go to the moon real quick. Let me show you. Let me just show you here. Okay, now we got to remember, the moon is 4 times the size they say it is, so it's almost as big as the Earth, or it is as big as the Earth, right? It is as big as the Earth. It's the Nemesis. It's the destroyer of man. It's the destroyer of man. It's the destroyer of the dinosaurs, everything. Okay, so now just imagine this is 4 times bigger than they say, and we're going to go check out Mare Orientale right here. Okay. So this used to face the Earth, I do believe, in like this. People on Earth looked at it and they saw it like this, or something like probably a little more downwards. It's probably facing down a little bit more, maybe, because this is where Tycho sits today, basically at the bottom. And Tycho is supposedly the last impact on the moon, which you could just say it's the last time, maybe the last time that it hit the Earth. I don't know. It looks like one of the last times it hit the Earth. It was Tycho that hit. It could be. It's very possible. But anyways, in this picture shows us some a few interesting things that I don't see on any of the other Mare Orientale pictures, and that shows a pyramid right here. This pyramid, you don't see this in any of the other in any of the actual like mosaics that I could find of this pyramid. And this is a pyramid. I mean, it's like it's got the light at the top and everything, and it probably looked a little bit wider than they show us. It might have, you know, it might have looked a little bit more like this, out to this line. You know, they've seen it a lot different than this picture, but it does show that I do believe this is where the pyramids originated from, right here. This is the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar is a picture of this crater on the moon, and I did a video where I overlaid the Mayan calendar over this crater, and I mean you can totally see that it goes with this crater. It is a picture of this crater with the pyramid on the top. This is why they built the pyramids right here. This is where they originally got the pyramid from. I do believe that's absolutely true. Of course, that's all theory, but it's a pretty good theory. I think better than most. And this, you got to remember now. This says this crater is this big. Watch. 366 miles. Multiply that by 4, and whatever you get is the actual size. Now this crater actually goes out. There's other rings that go out further out that they don't show us in this image. It actually goes out. You know, it's a multi-ring crater. This doesn't even show. It shows one ring, and then there's probably two more around the outside that they don't show us. And that's because it's Google Moon, and you got to expect that. But they do show us this. That's pretty cool. And we got to look at this impact. This is just the center of the impact. The impact is like this. It goes out like this. Whole thing is the impact. Right here. It's just been covered. All these areas like this is an impact with the Earth right here. But it's been covered somewhat, not much, because it's totally on the opposite side of the impacts that happened today. But these areas, this is an impact. Been covered up somewhat. Not, you still see it though. Mare Austral. This is also been covered up a little bit. But this used to be dark. Like this, just like we see over here. This all used to look the same over here. But when this impact, the latest impacts happened, which if it would have been Tycho, or probably was Tycho was probably part of it. Okay, probably on the edge of it. I think this is more like but it used to be like this. All the debris from these impacts that happen over here now cover the rest of the impacts that you see on the backside, which are all over. This one here is an impact. See the whole thing? It used to be dark too. All these sides have hit the Earth. All sides of the moon have hit the Earth. But this is the most recent. But it used to be a cycle with this crater. Anyway, I got off my subject there. It used to be a cycle where this one hit more than one time. This used to hit repeatedly. And then it got somehow, during one of the impacts that it knocked either the Earth or the moon on a different cycle. It changed the cycle. So now this side hits the Earth, the side that we see, and that's why we see the side, because it's magnetically, I think magnetically drawn, fixed with the Earth. They say phase locked. I say phase locked means it's the same thing as magnetically, electromagnetism basically. It's magnetically locked to where this faces the Earth all the time. That's not too hard to imagine, really. Basically, two big magnets in the sky. So, anyways, it got knocked out that cycle. This side hits us now. This is the side that hits us. That's Copernicus right there. That's the crater that we just looked at. That's that one right there. Take this and reverse it and put it over that spot and see it fit. Now, I'm not going to go too much deeper into this. I mean, you can watch my other videos and see the other overlays I've done, but you got to realize the moon is bigger. And now that I've told you this, when you walk down the street, when you watch TV, when you or when you see something, just remember, the moon has hit the Earth in the past. And once you realize that in your mind, you will see it all around you. You'll see it all around in the TV shows and all kinds of, especially the documentaries. You'll see things in the documentaries where they hint to things that you didn't notice before, because the whole thing's a cover story to try to steer you in the wrong direction. But they do hint to you sometimes what actually does it, by showing you a picture of the moon out of nowhere for no reason. All of a sudden they show a picture of the moon and you're just going, why did they show that? That's why, because they're hinting, they're trying to tell you the moon created that. Or it was from a moon impact. Maybe not necessarily created it, but I don't think we'd be here if the moon didn't hit the Earth. I don't think we would. I don't think we'd have water on I think it brought everything to the Earth, basically. I think it brought it all. Without this combination of these two planets, because this is a planet, it's a Mars-sized planet at the minimum, and it's without the two together, we wouldn't be here. No way. not just because it controls our tides, but because it hits the Earth. Does hit the Earth. Does. I mean, I'm not stupid. I've researched it. I've seen it. 100 times I've seen it. I mean, it just ties itself together. Every day I do it. I mean, I can sit here and discover stuff all the time, but I just get bored with it sometimes. It's just because I've already figured it out. I know the moon hits the Earth, and I know that people don't want to know, and I know that people don't want to tell everybody. But nothing amazes me more than the fact that nobody this has not gotten out to everybody. I mean, it's how good of a job they were able to cover it all up. And you got to remember, greed. This will tell you where the gold is. Look at that Copernicus impact. Look at that. I mean, that's right in the Motherlode. Right in the Motherlode of California. I live in California. I know. I mean, it's right in the Motherlode. The whole thing. And if you look at the thing, I mean, there's some areas that where there's that's rich. Look, this whole area in California, there used to be a lot of gold just basically sitting on the ground, all over this place. Basically sitting on the ground when they first came here. Okay, and they basically wiped. There's nothing left on the surface. There's nothing. I mean, they went over this whole state with the fine-tooth comb, pretty much, and you're not going to find much anymore unless you get down deep or get lucky. And I'm sure that happens still. There's still gold there. It's just but that's the entire Motherlode right there. And if you look at Copernicus, if you look at the crater of Copernicus, this doesn't show it much of the outside of it, but we'll go back to the moon and just take a look at what they give us, and it's not much. It sucks, but you can still see. Look at it. When we look at the moon, all these white spots are really shiny. Okay, really shiny, with the darker background. It does not look like this. This is garbage. But this is. You see how shiny that area is. Why is that so reflective? Why are these areas so reflective and this area is not? You say because it's a big lava field. Okay, fine, that's a big lava field, but what is that? Why does this change right there? Because it's just ridges? You think it's reflecting off the ridges or something? I don't know. Not from my understanding. I'm sure there's bumps and little places that catch light over here too. Why is that so shiny? Think about it. And think about that, why they don't tell you. That's why another reason they wouldn't tell you, because that right there would have been the first thing they would have thought of. Oh, whoa, hey, wait a minute. If we know that hits there and then it hits over there too, and there happens to be gold there and gold over there too, that area must have brought gold to those two areas. Okay, and then they just figure, okay, well, where else did this hit? Let's find those places too. And and then they find those places, and then they're able to see probably somewhere where nobody has looked in that spot before. It gives them more. It gives them a big advantage to finding the riches on the planet. It absolutely does, and it's a big reason for not telling you. Big reason. It's huge. And then, I mean, right now, how could they tell you after all this time? They couldn't tell you if they wanted to, or they could, but I mean, they would just show that it would just discredit everything that they've ever said in the past, because it's so obvious. It's so obvious that people would wonder how could they not know that, or how could they just now learn that? They would have had to know it the whole time. I mean, so that means the moon is 4 times the size, we're told, and that means it must be. If you're able to measure the distance or the size of the moon, then if it's 4 times bigger, that would mean that it's got to be 4 times further away, right? If you're saying that you measure the moon the way that you say, then and it's actually 4 times bigger by the prints on the looking at the prints on the Earth, then it has to be 4 times further away. So there's no way that they ever landed on the moon. I'm sorry. If you can't see the phoniness in the whole Apollo mission deal, if you can't see the phoniness of all the footage and all the reactions and everything, man, we got a problem in this country. No kidding. I mean, I would love to believe it's true. Believe me, when I was a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing. All my friend my roommate, he thinks the same thing. It just ruined it all for him. He was all into it too when he was a kid. I thought it was the coolest thing. just ruins it, because once you know, it just proves it's a lie, that they lied to us and they stole our money to basically test nuclear launch systems for nukes during the Cold War. Basically, how it all. I mean, sure, they had to get into space. They wanted to get into space, but to get to the moon was just a bunch of crap, just to get us all worked up, get us all together for some goal that was fake. Fake. Sorry, people, but you look. Back then, there's no way you're going to launch a rocket with 3 guys in it up into space to the moon, which is 4 times the distance away that they say, probably. And if it's not, then even if it was only the distance they say, it doesn't matter. Still, they launch a rocket up there, 3 guys, and then they got this module up there, control module or whatever, and then they 2 guys take off from that, land on the moon, right? And wherever they're going to land. This guy's waiting up here, right? Sure. Okay, there's a guy waiting up here to reconnect later. So these guys do whatever they got to do. They're going to pop off the moon. Just pop off the moon with no launch pad, nothing. I mean, it takes a launch pad on the Earth to launch. I mean, to get off the moon, it just pops right up, boop, right up to connect, and then they're able to connect with the module, and then come back to the Earth, no problem. 6 times or whatever, however many times they supposedly did it. No, I don't think so. You got too many. It ain't gonna happen. No way. Not that flawlessly. Not without a launch pad. They wouldn't even make it there. And we know. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I can see through things pretty well, and I see through that whole thing, man. I mean, every bit of it, all of it. Big lie. Either that or the images they give us and the Earth is a lie. How about that? Or how about everything is a lie? You're just renting your name. You're renting your entire identity from the government. From the day you're born and your parents sign your birth certificate. They get to pick the name, sure. They get to pick your name. But as soon as they sign the birth certificate and give you a social security number, you're property of the United States of America. Or wherever you live. You're a slave to the elite. From the day you're born in America. Yep. Anyways, that's it. Check out that Copernicus overlay. Check out some other videos if you want. I'm starting to take some of the older ones down, but where the information's changed somewhat. But I'm leaving enough on there. I'm not going to be making much videos trying to prove anything anymore to anybody, because I don't have to. I mean, I was just basically started out documenting my discoveries on YouTube. That's what I was trying to do, just to document them, so that in case, it was undiscovered and I discovered something myself that nobody else knew, I'd be able to have it documented and dated and everything like that. But I don't know, it just got to the point where people were got all fired up. I get fired up because people were idiots and not seeing it. I mean, just completely not some of them seen it that weren't idiots, that didn't see it. They weren't idiots. They would ask simple questions and why I would, and those people are cool. But there's a bunch of other fools on there that just, they don't think about just acting mature and saying, well, I don't agree with you. I think it's this way, and then I'm fine with that. But they got to just go on and on. So, anyways, I try to get better and better proof, and I mean, I've gotten so much proof that's just out. I don't even need to do it anymore. As long as I know, I'm not going to worry about anybody else knowing. If you want to know, do it yourself. I mean, if you have any questions, I'll help you. I'll answer any questions you want. If you got a question. But I'm not, I'm not trying to prove it to nobody anymore. It's too much of a big job, too big of a job. I mean, it changes all the history on the Earth. It absolutely does. That's why those people are trying to protect everything that they've worked for. All the scientists, everybody, they don't want this to come out to public. It'd be hard to get it out, really. No one would believe it. They would just laugh at you. But once you check it yourself, you'll see, and And it'll change your mind and change the way you live. Maybe it changed my life. I know everything now about how the dinosaurs died and everything like that. You don't have to. I mean, I don't have to listen to their lies anymore. Which we're always left. If you think about it, they never gave you a straight answer on anything. You know, it's always left up in the air about the true things that cause destruction on the planet. It's just they say little asteroids, little meteors, whatever the hell, comet or something. It's not. It's our nearest neighbor, the moon. The Nemesis, the destroyer, is the moon. It's right there right there, close to us. It's the Mars-sized planet that hit the Earth. It's not. It didn't create the moon. It was the moon, and that's it. Tired. I gotta go to work.